Welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the 10 most exciting NFL games of the 2020 season. Number 10, Buffalo Bills vs. Arizona Cardinals. This Week 10 game showcased a head-to-head battle between Josh Allen and Kyle Murray. By the third quarter, Arizona trailed the Bills 23-9. Then in the final moments of the fourth, the Bills drove home a 21-yard touchdown with a pass from Allen to Stefon Diggs with just 34 seconds left on the clock. But the Cardinals still had hope. The Buffalo Bills made it to the 43-yard line, and then Murray launched a spectacular Hail Mary pass to DeAndre Hopkins for a full 43-yard touchdown with just 2 seconds left on the clock. The play was so stunning, it's got its own name and Wikipedia page. The Hail Murray is by far one of the greatest moments of last year's NFL season. Number 9, Cowboys vs. Falcons. The Cowboys and the Falcons treated fans to a highlight reel game early on in the season in Week 2. The Cowboys had a tough loss in a close game versus the Rams in Week 1, so their morale was low going into this one. They were down 0-20 after the first quarter, and it looked like they were about to be crushed, but Dak Prescott turned it around. By the last 8 minutes of the game, they had closed the deficit to 15 points. After another 5 minutes, the Cowboys and Falcons were down to a 2-point difference with just 3 minutes left on the clock. Then the Falcons had a tragic moment where they left an onside kick to just roll over into Dallas' hands. Greg Zuerlein closed the door on the stunned Falcons with a 46-yard field goal for a final score of 40-39. Number 8, Buccaneers vs. Packers. Aaron Rodgers went head-to-head with Tom Brady for the NFC Championship in 2020, and it was one of the best games of the season with both teams trading goals. The Packers fell behind, but they managed a goal late in the fourth quarter to bring the score to 31-26 with just 50 seconds left on the clock. The Buccaneers land a first down and advanced to the Super Bowl. Number 7, Texans vs. Titans. The Titans started off strong in their Week 6 match versus the Texans, landing 2 touchdowns to nothing in the first 2 quarters. But the Texans clawed their way back with a short pass to Darren Fells. The play just made the Titan offense go even harder, and they answered with another touchdown to end the half. The Titans went for a kick in the third, but it was stuffed and stolen by the Texans. Fells made another great drive, but the very next play they almost lost the ball to a fumble. They recovered and scored. The score ballooned to 36-36 in overtime when the Titans finally landed the winning touchdown in this back-and-forth brawl. Number 6, Chiefs vs. Raiders. The Raiders started off with a slow and steady opening drive to barely break the goal line for their first touchdown in this Week 11 match. The Chiefs followed up with a nice fake-out short pass to Hill, who walked it in for their first score of the game. The Chiefs and Raiders went back and forth, with each team having 14 points in the second quarter. But the Raiders got a small lead thanks to a kick. They went back and forth again in the third and fourth quarter. With just 30 seconds left, the Chiefs took the lead, but the Raiders were looking for a Hail Mary to close it out. The pass looked great, but the Chiefs intercepted to seal the deal. Number 5, Packers vs. Colts. The Packers started off strong in this Week 11 matchup with 2 long-range passes converting to a touchdown. The Colts answered back with their own touchdown, and then Rock Ya-Sin picked up an interception near their own 40-yard line. But they couldn't score off the play, and the Packers ran it in for their second touchdown shortly after getting the ball back. The second quarter had a total of 4 touchdowns, with 3 going to the Packers and 1 for the Colts. The Colts clawed back more points in the second half to tie it up to 31-31 and landed a kick to win in overtime. Number 4, Broncos vs. Chargers. The Broncos were looking to turn things around versus the Chargers. They weren't doing so hot with a record of 2-4, and to make matters worse, the Chargers held a commanding lead going into the third quarter at 24-3. But the Broncos weren't going to hand over the win that easily, and Drew Lock stepped up for Denver in the fourth quarter. He threw 3 spectacular touchdowns, along with the game-winning throw to KJ Hamler as the clock ran out. Fans of the Broncos can't pass up this intense game. Number 3, Ravens vs. Titans. The Ravens had a standout season in 2019, but the Titans pulled off an upset to end the Ravens' run with a one-sided win. In this Week 11 clash, the Ravens looked to get even, and this time they put up a fight. The Ravens held an 11-point lead in the third quarter, but A.J. Brown dug deep and broke multiple tackle attempts to put the Titans ahead with only 2 minutes and change left. Then Just Tucker landed a 29-yard field goal with only 15 seconds left to bring it to overtime. The Titans got the ball back on their 27-yard line, and after 6 plays, they ran it back and beat the Ravens again with a score of 30-34. Number 2. Cardinals vs. Seahawks. Kyler Murray gained ground with their win over the Seahawks in a nail-biting game in Week 7. This was one of many amazing games spearheaded by the Cardinals, with Murray and Wilson totaling an insane 748 passing yards with 6 touchdowns. Other highlights include Tyler Lockett, who nabbed 15 catches with 3 touchdowns and a total of 200 yards received on the dot. Murray and Wilson were evenly matched through most of the game, with the defining moment being a slip-up from Wilson, who threw an interception with 1 minute left in overtime. Zane Gonzalez, the kicker for the Cardinals, missed a long-range 41-yard field goal at the start of the overtime, but nailed a 48-yard field goal with just 15 seconds on the clock. The win here sent the Cardinals into the NFC wildcard contention and set the stage for more exciting games from the Cardinals later on in 2020. Number 1. Ravens vs. Browns. Monday Night Football on Week 14 was a match you couldn't miss. 2 AFC North rivals clashed in a back-and-forth game. The Ravens' Lamar Jackson was styling on the Browns until cramps in his arm sidelined him. But Baker Mayfield gave him a run for his money, landing 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to claw back the game. Jackson came back out of the locker room and looked primed to come in clutch with a 44-yard fourth-down touchdown pass. In the last 6 minutes of the game, the Ravens and Browns scored a combined 27 points for an electric finish. Mayfield brought it back with a 22-yard pass less than a minute later to tie the game again. With the scoreboard showing a whopping 80 points combined, Jackson led the Ravens on a drive to the 38-yard line, where Justin Tucker sealed the deal with a game-winning field goal. The 2020 NFL season was home to tons of historic plays and legendary games. What was your must-watch game of the 2020 NFL season? Let us know in the comments below. Give the video a like and subscribe for more sports videos. And thanks for watching.